I am aware that it might be psychological, but still. Anyway, now I went to A&E. I had some things to do. I took that gel, I used it, I had some things to do during the day. Now in the evening, I was talking with someone, but I kept feeling something, but it wasn't the same size, it was smaller and many. It was smaller and many, and I felt them like up my throat, and all of a sudden I started to feel something moving through my mouth, but very small. I could feel it like it was gripping on my tongue, on my cheeks, it was walking everywhere. But it wasn't just one, it was multiple. I had a bottle of water in my hand. I just took a sip. I rinsed my mouth, I spit out, and I didn't feel them in my mouth anymore. I could still feel them in my throat. At that time I was with a cousin and a friend of my cousin. My cousin's friend she went home, so I was with my cousin. I had no money, so I asked my cousin, can you please buy me some alcohol as strong as possible, because I know if indeed it's bed bugs, I know that bed bugs don't like it, don't like alcohol. So that night I've started to drink alcohol. She bought me a bottle of whiskey. I don't like whiskey. I used to like vodka, but with mixes, not dry. And whatever drink in that situation, whatever drink I would have had, I would have drank. It had to be a spirit. It had to be something strong and neat. No juice, no mixer, no ice, no nothing. I didn't feel anything that night because of course I got drunk. I didn't eat properly for 2 weeks, and alcohol, of course I got drunk. I fell asleep. I woke up the next day. I was feeling okayish. Actually, I was feeling alright. I was more like bothered by the fact that I need to drink alcohol in order for me to be able to push, to, I don't know, to scare them to. But when I forgot to mention, when I started to drink alcohol, I started to feel the movement. Whatever was in my throat, I started to feel go down or sideways around my chest. It was like trying to run away from the alcohol. It was like chaos in there, running. This is how I was feeling them. And later that day, I went back to the hostel. I threw all my stuff. Most of my stuff. I think I have a couple of things left. But yeah, which I'm not using anyway. But I threw all my clothes. I kept my speaker only, which I was gonna throw as well anyway, because there's some spaces where they can squeeze in there, and I'm too afraid to take them with me anywhere I go. I don't want to I don't wish this even to my biggest enemies. For what I went through with these bed bugs, these have been like, if the incident with the with the closing of my bank account made me cry and it felt like shit, this incident was probably one of the worst things that I could have go through. The entire period, I mean, since I've discovered them until now. Until now. And I went to, I threw all my stuff, I gave up my laptop as well because actually I was too cheap to throw it, so I sold it for £60. Sold my laptop for £60 because I was too afraid to keep it. I would have thrown it if I would have had money, but I didn't even have money, and I was also despairing. I'm going through this stuff. I don't have money. I have to throw all my stuff. What will I get dressed with? So yeah. Out of the money that I got on the laptop, I've lent it to. Out of those more money, a part of it I've lent it to a friend, a neighbor in the hostel, friend. He gave it back to me a few days later, and I was able to buy a few clothes a few days ago, like a couple of tracksuits, a couple of t-shirts, a pair of shoes, socks and underwear. I didn't have enough to buy a jacket. This is the jacket that I borrowed, which I'm afraid to give it back. And I was trying to cope with it. I didn't know exactly what in that night, the last night, 5 a.m. I've called A&E, and the A&E started to laugh at me. I even heard the lady in the background. She asked me, police or ambulance, and I said ambulance. And she started to ask me questions. I've answered the questions. Even though I was feeling shit, I was feeling sick, I answered the questions. And she kept going over and over some questions, and I was like, why do you keep asking me these questions? I thought that you're putting me through with the ambulance. She was like, oh yeah, let me put you through to the ambulance. And then I heard like the phone was a little bit was at a distance, and I heard, this guy is smart, she said. And then I heard a voice of a male. I don't know exactly what. I didn't understand what he said, but then I heard them both laughing. And then I was put through to the ambulance, but it was the same lady who answered, because she started to ask me. I've recognized her voice, and she started to ask me the same questions, and I said, why are you asking me the same questions? You just asked me these questions before you said that you were going to put me through to the ambulance. And she was like, yeah, but in order for me to be able to help you, I have to ask these questions. But you just asked me. Yeah, but I want to help you. If I want to help you, I have to. She kept saying, and I told her, if you want to help me, take me to a doctor. I need a doctor. I don't need questions. I need to talk to a doctor and for him to do to a checkup. I don't know, X-ray, how is it called, ultrasound. I don't know exactly how you can find the problem, the issue. Whatever the problem it is, let's find it. That's what I want. I don't want your questions will not help me, will not make me healthy. And I told her, if you will send an ambulance, fine. If not, tell me. And she was like, call 111. I just hung up. She called me back from a landline phone number. And she started directly with the questions. I was like, why are you asking me the questions? I don't get it. You asked me these questions twice. Why are you're calling me to ask me the questions? Yeah, but in order for you have to call 111. But if I have to call 111, why are you asking me these questions? If you don't want to help me, just leave me alone. I hanged up again. They called me again. She called me again. Same thing. Questions. What is wrong with you? I told her, if you don't take me to a doctor, if you don't send an ambulance, take me to a doctor, a proper doctor to check me up, tell me, I don't know where from I will borrow some money, but I will, and I will get myself a plane ticket, and I will fly to a different country, and I will go to A&E. She didn't answer. She didn't say anything. She continued with the questions and with 111, so I had to hang up, get ready, and leave. So I left. Yeah, this is my story. Short version of me in the UK, and quite a short story of me being homeless, and a medium-sized story of me, of the happening with the bed bugs and with the council, Camden Council to be more specific. Yeah, thank you for having patience to watch all of this. My name is Andre Pascaro. I'm 33 years old, and this is what I've been going through with the council, with Camden Council, and with charities, and with the services that are supposed to help us, and the services which say that they cannot help. I want for people to know, to be aware. In a way, I'll be honest. At the moment, I'm not even, when I'm filming this, and I'm not in the UK. I borrowed money and I left the UK. I went to the hospital. So yeah, I want people in the UK to know, to be aware of what's happening, because I don't know, you might think differently, and you might hear a similar story or similar stories here and there. But if we don't speak, nothing is gonna change. We need to bring these issues into the light. If we want to change something, if we want to sort out issues, the issues need to be spotted. We cannot, myself, I cannot solve a problem if I don't know there is a problem. And I want people to be aware, because I've heard many people blaming us us homeless people, because I am homeless. I've heard many people blaming us. Some of us might be deserving of some of the words that we receive. But you know what? Overall, this is the situation. No one does anything. If you don't tick the boxes, they do nothing for you. Nothing. Even if it's not true, as long as you say something that ticks the box, you're fine. It doesn't matter if it's true or not. And the most disappointing thing for me is that you can't be honest. That's the most disappointing thing for me. I'm not giving up on being honest. I only hope that I will be lucky enough to have honest people in my life in the future, in the near future, hopefully. Honest people, transparent, authentic, positive, kind, optimistic, willing, who have willingness to work, to do what needs to be done. People who want to grow, who want us to grow together, who want more from their lives and for themselves and for others, who want more for this planet. These are the people that I want around myself. I don't want lies. So if I want this type of people, this is what I have to offer. This is what I have to give. But the biggest challenge is that people's filters are broken. I can't say people's filters are broken. People don't know when the truth is true, and when the false is false. People cannot discern anymore. Not all of them, most of them. I am disappointed because after so many years of speaking the truth, of always saying the truth, of course I've withheld at times, but when I would say something, I would speak the truth. I'm tired of doing that. And for them to look at me and not believe me, not believe what I say. And that's not a problem for me, because if I tell you something and you don't want to believe me, that's fine with me. I'll just move on. I don't care, man. I'm telling you the truth. If you want to believe me, great. If not, bye. Simple. But the problem is that I had to go to all these places, official places, which if they don't believe me there, I don't get my rights. So I know that eventually I will end up where I need to be, where I wish. But the truth needs to be revealed, and people need to be aware. We need to grow in awareness more and more, because we're losing the contact, first of all, with ourselves and with each other. We're growing apart more and more. And the more we grow apart, the more hurt we are. Because it takes hard work to learn how to be happy within. I'm telling you because it took me a long time to learn it, and even now I'm still practicing it. It took me a long time to learn how to keep my happiness in here, how to grow it, and when it grows enough to hold on to it, no matter who comes at me trying to piss me off or getting me angry or stress me, or for me to just focus on this and be like, I'm too busy, bye bye, I'm too busy to take care of my happiness. Yeah. At the same time, I also hope that more people will, with similar situations, will come out into the light, so we can make a change, because the situation is not nice at all to be in this position. I pity all those people sleeping on the streets. You look at them, and many people look at them and they say, oh, they can go to work, or they can. If you haven't been in that situation, in that position, you can say a lot of stuff. In Romanian, we have a saying, after the war, all the brave people show up. When the war is finished, all the brave people show up. Yeah. So it is similar in that way. If you didn't go through it, you shouldn't judge them, you shouldn't blame them. If you don't want to help them, that's your choice, and it's understandable, because many of them have become complacent. And when you become complacent, you can't get out of a situation like that, especially if you have alcohol problems or drug problems, even if it's this or whatever it is. You end up in a situation like this, and you have an addiction like that. It's, I don't know how many chances you've got. I mean, look at me. I smoke, okay, which has been more because of the stress that I've been going through, and it's like, it's been like, you know what? I'm already trying to sort out all of this stuff than to deal with all this stuff. At least let me enjoy this. Or let me enjoy a drink once in a while. At least leave me with this. When I will be in a good place, that in that moment, yeah, I will be rested enough to be able to drop every little thing that's holding me back. Not that I haven't been doing so far. You have no idea. But yeah, myself, I was lucky because I've learned some things before ending up in the street. I had the opportunity to change my mentality and my attitude. So I was able to cope, but I'll be honest, someone with addictions, most of the homeless, not all of them, most of the homeless people that I have encountered, through my situation, the things that I've been going through with the council and everything, I don't know if they would have lasted. I mean, I can still smile. It's a little bit of a, sad smile, but I can still smile. But, yeah. This is why I'm saying, people, I understand that you are right, they could do something, but please do not judge them, do not blame them. When you end up there, it's hard to climb up a stair when you're 50 meters away from it in moving sand. Thank you very much for having the patience to listen to all of this. I really hope that something will change, a positive change, and that this will only be the beginning. I wish you all the best. God bless you.